A white Cadillac sat quietly in the darkness, watching. Inside, a man fueled by jealousy and rage waited for the right moment. Moments later, gunshots rang out, and a young father lay dying on his own front porch. But this wasn't a random act of violence. It was cold, calculated revenge. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode. I am your host, Ava. Today, we're diving into the tragic case of Kristopher Miller, a beloved educator, a devoted father, and an innocent victim of a jealous rage. What drove a Minneapolis minister to commit murder? And how did modern technology unravel the truth? This case is a chilling reminder that jealousy can turn deadly. Please like and subscribe to our channel as we bring you real-life stories every week. Kristopher Miller was more than just a name in the headlines. At 27, he was a father of 2 young girls and a respected educator at North High School in Minneapolis. He was known as the quasi-dean of students, a role model, a mentor, and a man dedicated to his community. But on the night of May 10th, 2010, his life was cut short in an act of cold-blooded murder. That night, Kristopher, a few friends, and his date, Kim Griffin, were at the Elks Club enjoying an evening out. But there was one problem. Kim Griffin wasn't just any woman. She was the estranged wife of Derrick Griffin, an associate minister at True Vine Missionary Baptist Church. As the night ended, Kristopher did something any gentleman would. He walked Kim to her car, gave her a hug, and said goodbye. But across the street, Derrick sat in his white Cadillac, watching. Kim Griffin, his estranged wife, noticed him immediately. "There's my ex-husband stalking me again," she told her friends. Making his way home, Kristopher Miller had no idea he was being followed, as he pulled into his driveway and stepped onto his porch. The silence of the night was shattered by 2 gunshots. By the time authorities arrived, Kristopher Miller was dead. Derrick Griffin, the man who once preached about sin, had just committed the ultimate one. The investigation began, and the case was built on extensive use of technology and good effective police work. Because there were no direct witnesses, police quickly pieced together the puzzle using modern forensic tools. First, Griffin denied even being in the area, but his cell phone records told a different story. His phone pinged near the crime scene at the exact time of the shooting. Surveillance cameras captured his Cadillac speeding away, and when police arrested Griffin, they found a single .38 caliber bullet in his pocket, identical to the one pulled from Miller's body. Then came the final mistake. Griffin, speaking from jail, was recorded telling his estranged wife, Kim, not to talk to police. A blatant attempt to cover his tracks, and it backfired. Derrick was arrested just 12 hours after the shooting. Prosecutors charged him with second-degree murder, but they weren't stopping there. They pushed for a first-degree murder charge, arguing that this was a premeditated act of revenge. A Bible verse from Proverbs seems to eerily fit the case. "For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge." Derrick Griffin, a minister, a man of God, let his jealousy drive him to commit murder. As the trial began, the man who once stood behind a pulpit now stood before a judge. After hearing the testimonies, the evidence, and the motive, the jury found Derrick Griffin guilty of first-degree murder while committing a drive-by shooting. His punishment? Life in prison, no parole, no redemption. His congregation was left in disbelief. The man they had trusted, the man they had followed, was a murderer. Some said they never saw the rage beneath his sermons. Others said they felt something was always off. Kristopher Miller's death left 2 young daughters without a father and a community mourning a man who had so much more to give. His story serves as a reminder of how dangerous unchecked jealousy can be. What do you think? Was this crime fueled by passion, or was it pure cold-blooded murder? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This case serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the most dangerous secrets are hidden behind the most pious facades. Please stay tuned for commentary by DJ.
Hey everyone, DJ here. This case we could learn a couple lessons from. First, let me say that if you're going through a separation or a divorce, it's best not to date until everything is final. Because some men think that you're still in a relationship even when you're separated. Sometimes even when you're already divorced. The most dangerous time for a woman where she really have to look out for herself is if you're going through a separation, if you're going through a divorce. And when young people, they say they taking a break, I don't understand the break one. Like, either you're with somebody or you're not with somebody. How do you take a break from somebody? That I don't get that. You should never tell someone, hey, we need a break. You should tell someone you want to break up with them, we're not working out. Or you tell them, let's go to therapy. But never tell someone, I want a break. Like, what is that? In this case, Kim Griffin and Derrick Griffin was going through a separation. So that means they were headed for divorce. In Kim's mind, the marriage was over because she started dating Kristopher Miller. In Derrick's mind, the relationship wasn't over because he was stalking Kim to see who she was with. The night of the murder, Kim, Kristopher, and a couple of friends went out to eat, and Derrick was stalking them. Once they left the restaurant, Kristopher walked Kim to her car and bid her goodbye. Then he got into his car and drove home. What he didn't know was that Derrick was following him. And once he got home and he got onto his porch, Derrick pulled up and shot him twice, killing him on the spot. Now, the reason Derrick killed Kristopher was because of Kim. He found sexually explicit messages on Kim's phone and he went ballistic. But the fact is, they were going through a separation. And even if they were married, that's no justification for killing anyone. In case you don't know, if you're in a relationship with someone and that person cheats on you, there's no justification to murder that person. You don't have any right to murder the person. Let me tell you the rights that you have. If you're married to someone, you have a right to divorce. You have a right to leave them. If you're not married, you have a right to break up with them. And that's it. You have no right to put your hands on somebody for any reason that you might come up in your head. Whether it's infidelity or whatever reason that's going on in the relationship. There's no justification for murder at all. Unless your back is against the wall and you have to defend yourself in self-defense, that's the only way you're going to have justification for killing someone. Derrick Griffin was a minister. So this guy's in church very often preaching to people, teaching them about the Bible and how they should live their life according to the laws of God. Yet this is the same man who went out and purchased a gun to kill his wife's boyfriend. Like, how are you going to minister to people when you're not even grounded yourself? When you have no self-control? If you're a man and you meet a woman, she's going through a separation or a divorce, or she's taking a break from her boyfriend, that's not the kind of woman you want to date. You tell that woman, when your divorce is final, call me. When your breakup is final, call me. Because when you get into that situation with that woman, you put in your life in danger. And that's what happened with Kristopher. He never imagined or expected Derrick to come and kill him because he was dating his wife. Because he knew that Kim and Derrick was going through a separation. So when someone hears separation, they hear a breakup. They finish. But one person might be thinking they break up. But the other person might be thinking, we can work this out. So if you're a woman and you're going through a divorce or a separation, that's not the time to start dating. And just for everyone, it's a good practice to take a break in between relationships. I know most of us jump from relationship to relationship. We get over one relationship by being in another relationship, which is not good. You need some time to yourself before you jump into another relationship. And this time, the boyfriend got killed. But most times, it's the wife or the girlfriend who are killed. By all accounts, Kristopher Miller was a good man. He was an educator. A lot of his students said many good things about him. A lot of his colleagues and friends said he was a good man. He had 2 young daughters, and his life was just snatched away in 1 second because of jealousy and rage. And who would have guessed a minister would have done it? I mean, this guy's not a minister. He's a thug. Getting a gun and shooting somebody is not the way to solve problems. You only create more problems for yourself. Because now, Derrick killed Kristopher because he wanted to get back with his wife, Kim. But right now, today, Derrick is in jail for life. He's not coming out. And Kim moved on with her life with somebody else. So you see how Derrick killing Kristopher didn't solve any problems for Derrick. It only made more problems for him. And I wish more men would understand that little concept there. Killing somebody is not going to solve anything. Because now you're in jail and the woman that you're obsessed with is still going to move on with somebody else. And you're going to be in jail surrounded by men for the rest of your life. And you will not see, touch, or smell that woman ever again. And in fact, she's going to be with another man while you're in jail. It's not worth it. And even in the cases where the man kills the woman, you're still going to end up in jail for the rest of your life. What's the point? You're still not going to have the woman. She's dead. And then you're in jail. You're locked up in a 6x8 cell. Like, who wants most of their rights to be taken away? I mean, I want to wake up in the morning and see the sun, make whatever beverage that I want. I want to sit there and watch a football game. I want to go to the movies. I want to see my kids grow up. I don't want to be sitting in a cell with a bunch of men day in, day out, and people telling me what to do and what to wear. Like, what kind of life is that? If a woman don't want me, I'm leaving. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of other women in the world. You can easily find another one. There's no reason to be so obsessed with somebody that you want to kill them and then go spend the rest of your life in jail. That makes no sense. You're like the dumbest one in the room. Let me tell you something about me. I do not put anyone on a pedestal. I see people putting the pastor on a pedestal and all kind of different people they put on a pedestal. There's nobody in my life that I'm putting on a pedestal. Nobody. There are people that I admire, and you might ask yourself, well, what about your wife? And what about your mother? And what about your kids? Listen, I love my wife and I love my mother and my kids. But at the end of the day, everyone on this earth is human. And sometimes humans could be unpredictable. That's the reason you don't ever put anyone on a pedestal. Because time and time again, humans will disappoint you. So when you see people in uproar because this guy's a minister and he murdered someone, I'm not really surprised. I've been alive long enough to see people from all walks of life do terrible things. The only person that you really know 100% is yourself. And if you think you know somebody else 100%, you're fooling yourself. The one thing I don't like to see is innocent people get killed. And this victim, Kristopher Miller, was an innocent man and he did not deserve to be killed. And this guy, Derrick Griffin, he got life in prison, no parole, which is good. Personally, I would have preferred he got the death penalty. There's a case that I came across recently. A man went to his ex-girlfriend's house. He shot the lock on the door 3 times to get in, barged into the house, went up to her bedroom, and shot her in the head. And that man got 45 years in jail. And I'm sitting there wondering to myself, that man should have gotten the death penalty. Like, why is he getting 45 years? Why is he able to come back out and live his life when he broke into this woman's house, his ex-girlfriend, and killed her? I'm very perplexed by some of the laws in America. How someone could do the same crime and one person get more years and the other person get less. I find it very unfair that the victim is dead and the perpetrator has a chance to live in society again. That should never happen. I want to send my condolences to Kristopher Miller and his family and his daughters. And I know condolences does nothing, but I hope by sharing this case, it helps somebody else who's going through a similar situation so they can avoid a tragedy like this. I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all in the next video.